My brother inherited everything, but I got the last laugh. My dad used to say, "Money doesn't change people, it just shows you who they've been all along." At the time, I thought it was one of those old man sayings. I didn't realize it would come true inside my own family. When my dad passed last year, he left behind a small fortune. Around $3 million his company, a few properties, and some investments he'd quietly built over 30 years. He was the definition of self-made. I have one brother, Chris, the golden child, the one who could charm anyone with a smile. Growing up, he got away with everything. He was Dad's pride and joy, while I was the quiet one who stayed out of trouble. When Dad's will was read, I was expecting a fair split. Maybe not 50-50, but something that reflected both of us being his kids. Instead, the lawyer read the words that froze me solid. I leave all my assets, property, and holdings to my eldest son, Christopher. I got nothing. No money. Not even Dad's watch. Just a note, handwritten. Ethan has always been content with what he has. It felt like the final confirmation that I was invisible in my own family. Chris patted me on the shoulder as if he was doing me a favor and said, "Don't worry, little brother. I'll make sure you're taken care of." He didn't. 3 months later, he sold Dad's company, liquidated everything, and disappeared into a life of luxury. Fancy cars, vacations, social media posts showing off his new mansion. Meanwhile, I was still teaching middle school math and barely paying rent. But I stayed quiet, because something in me wanted to see where greed would take him. A year later, Karma showed up dressed as an IRS investigator. Turns out Chris had falsified company tax records before selling it. The buyers sued. The investigation spiraled. Every dirty secret came to light. But that's not the twist. During the financial audit, the lawyers uncovered something buried in the company's foundation documents, a silent partnership agreement. My dad had transferred 40% of the company to a private trust. In my name. It had been created when I was 16. I never knew about it. And here's where it gets wild. Because of that document, all of Chris's financial crimes technically occurred under my company's banner, meaning legally he dragged me into his mess. I had two choices. Protect him or save myself. When the investigators came calling, I told them the truth, every detail. How Chris ran everything. How I wasn't involved. I handed over emails, text messages, and transaction records he'd stupidly sent me bragging about his deals. That testimony cleared me, but it buried him. Last I heard, Chris took a plea deal. 5 years minimum. The mansion's gone. The cars were repossessed. His wife filed for divorce the same week. When I went back to Dad's old office, now mine, technically, I found another note hidden in the bottom drawer. It said, "One son wanted the money. The other wanted peace. Let's see who ends up richer." For the first time, I finally understood him. Dad didn't want to punish me. He wanted to test both of us. And in the end, he was right. Money didn't change Chris. It just exposed the rot that was already there.